If you sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, especially between the hours of 3 and 5, you're not alone. According to a recent study in the Journal of Psychiatric Research, 35% of people wake up in the middle of the night at least once a week. It can not only be exhausting, but also very frustrating to feel like you can never get a good night's sleep. Today on Charisma, we're going to look at the 8 reasons why you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and what you can do about them. Number 1, no circadian rhythm. Between work or school and socializing, it can be hard to build a regular sleep routine. If you wake up early on weekdays for work or school, you probably want to sleep in on the weekends. And if you need to go to bed early on weeknights, you may stay up later on weekends. The lack of a sleep schedule, however, can throw off your sleep because of how it impacts what's known as your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is the 24-hour clock that everyone has built into them. It causes the release of different hormones throughout the day that either make you feel sleepy or give you energy, depending on the time of day. So if you go to bed at midnight one night, 10 p.m. the next night, and 2 a.m. the following night, your circadian rhythm gets wildly thrown off because it doesn't know when it's supposed to be providing you with energy and when you're supposed to be sleeping. On the flip side, when you go to bed and wake up at the same time, you're tapping into your natural circadian rhythm, allowing your body to get into a groove. The circadian rhythm thrives on routine, and a disoriented circadian rhythm could be the reason you're constantly waking up in the middle of the night. Number 2, your room is too hot or too cold. Do you know the optimal temperature for sleep? According to the Cleveland Clinic, it's best to keep your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit during the night. Temperatures that are too hot or too cold could result in less REM sleep, which is the sleep that's important for processing memories and cleaning the brain of toxins. What you're left with when you sleep in a room that's not an ideal temperature is more non-REM or light sleep. And this light sleep means that you'll sleep less soundly and will be more likely to wake up during the night. The reason for this goes back to our circadian rhythm. Just like it regulates levels of wakefulness throughout the day, your circadian rhythm also controls your body temperature. A couple of hours before you go to bed, your body temperature peaks. And then, right before you go to sleep, your body temperature begins to cool. By stimulating this manually with external temperatures, you can trick your body into feeling more fatigued and sleeping longer. Number 3, eating too close to bedtime. Like drinking alcohol and coffee too close to bedtime, eating too late in the day will also negatively affect your sleep. When you eat a meal, your body spends several hours digesting it. And as part of digestion, your body releases hormones and chemicals that can disrupt your sleep. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition looked at how eating before bed impacts sleep and found that those who ate 1 hour before bed were twice as likely to wake up in the middle of the night as those who didn't. Furthermore, those who didn't eat close to bedtime got between 25 to 35 minutes longer to sleep on weekdays and between 15 to 31 minutes longer sleep on weekends. So, what should you do? To avoid disruption to your sleep, experts recommend that you stop eating 3 hours before bedtime. So, if you go to bed at 11 p.m., make sure you've finished your last meal by 8 p.m. Number 4, napping late in the day. Sleep experts agree that naps can be good for you, but they have to be done right. According to experts, the best time to nap is in the early to mid-afternoon as people naturally have less energy during this time. A nap then gives you a quick boost to continue to carry out your day, but that nap should only last for 10 to 20 minutes. If you're someone who regularly takes a 30-minute or longer nap at 4 or 5 p.m., this may be the reason for your sleep struggles. When you nap earlier in the day, most of your sleep is non-REM or light sleep. This allows you to quickly recharge and doesn't affect your longer stretches of sleep at night. But when you nap later in the day, this is more commonly REM sleep or deep sleep, which is the sleep that allows you to feel rested and recharged. And when you experience REM sleep during a nap, you'll likely have a harder time falling asleep and staying asleep later when it matters. So, to avoid those 3 a.m. wake-ups, make sure your naps are early and short. Number 5, you're stressed. Stress impacts the body in many ways. It can reduce your immune function, making you more likely to get sick. It can cause digestive problems and weight gain, and, no surprise, it can negatively affect your sleep. Maybe your mind is racing before bed with worries about an upcoming school or work project, or you keep replaying that stupid thing you said to your boss or coworker. Whatever it is, stress before bedtime can drastically reduce the quality of your sleep. This is because stress releases hormones like cortisol that make it hard to fall asleep and can cause fragmented sleep or waking up in the middle of the night. In order to get better sleep, it's important to lower your stress levels. And while you might think this means you need to quit your demanding job or stop going to social events because of your social anxiety, you can actually reduce stress at night in surprisingly simple ways. Meditating or taking a bath before bed, for instance, will help you calm your nervous system, reducing the amount of cortisol and other stress hormones in your body and allowing you to sleep more soundly. Number 6, using electronics before bed. A lot of us try to wind down at night by watching a movie or TV show or scrolling on our phones. But even though these activities may feel relaxing, they're actually harmful to your sleep. The reason is that electronics emit blue light, which stops the production of a key sleep hormone called melatonin. Our bodies naturally produce melatonin in response to it getting dark at night, and the increase of this hormone then makes us feel tired. So, when blue light suppresses the release of melatonin, it becomes harder to fall and stay asleep. Here's what you can do about it. According to Johns Hopkins sleep experts, melatonin naturally increases about 2 hours before bedtime. So this is when you should start putting away those electronics. And if you absolutely can't put your laptop or iPhone away, try wearing blue light glasses at night to help block out some of this sleep-disrupting light. Or, if your device has the option, switch it to night mode, which reduces the blue light being emitted. Number 7, drinking coffee or alcohol right before bed. It sounds obvious to say that you shouldn't consume coffee right before bed. But do you know how long before you go to sleep you should stop drinking it? According to the Sleep Foundation, you should finish your last cup of coffee 6 hours before bed, as this is the time it takes to metabolize or process half of the caffeine. So, if you want to go to bed at 11 p.m., you should be finishing that last cup by 5 p.m. Even if you're one of those people who doesn't have any problem falling asleep after drinking coffee, drinking it too close to bed can still disrupt your sleep without you knowing. This is because caffeine blocks the release of the chemical adenosine, which promotes sleep, and without it, you might find yourself waking up at that dreaded 4 a.m. mark. Alcohol consumption too close to bedtime can also disrupt your sleep. Alcohol reduces the amount of deep or restorative sleep you get, which can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night. With alcohol, it's recommended that you stop drinking at least 4 hours before bed. So, if you want to aim to go to bed by 11 p.m., you need to stop drinking by 7 p.m. It turns out that happy hours aren't just a good way to save money, they also promote drinking at hours that won't negatively affect your sleep. Number 8, your blood sugar is low. Remember when we mentioned that eating too close to bedtime is bad for sleep? Well, the opposite is also true. If you don't eat close enough to your bedtime and go to bed hungry, you're likely going to be woken up in the middle of the night by your empty stomach. The reason for this goes back to what our brain is doing as we sleep. Our brains process memories and detox during the night, and this requires a lot of energy. If you go to bed with a gurgling stomach, you're probably going to run out of energy for your brain to function properly during sleep. When this happens, your blood sugar drops and your brain releases cortisol to make you hungry, which then wakes you up. So while you shouldn't eat too close to bedtime, make sure you're eating regularly throughout the day to keep your stomach and your brain happy. You need to find what works for you so you're not eating too close to bed and you're not going to bed starving. Walnuts, fruit, Greek yogurt, and peanut butter are a few good options to eat later in the day. What about if you're tired all the time, no matter how much sleep you get? Watch this next video to find out what might be the cause.